Good evening. Good evening. All right. Welcome to Walking Against the Current. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight and Walking Against the Current. We are happy to be sitting in your living room, on your phones, wherever you're at. We're happy to be here. And for those of you in New York, y'all are stuck in the house with a blizzard, so you may as well watch us.
Might as well.
Like and share to anybody who's stuck in the house on the blizzard, or just like and share, period.
That's right.
So I guess I'll
like,
ask mine.
share.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like, share, hit at highlights, at followers, and let's get it out here. Tag some people.
All right, that's cool. So let me ask my question. How was your day, son?
Blessed day. Can't complain. Grateful to be alive. You know, we haven't been on here in about a week or so, but we are back and ready to give you guys some great information.
Excellent. I mean, we didn't get the snow here, but my God, today was freezing. I don't know what was going on with the wind today, but seriously, I mean, I used to hear the old school say you get cold to the bones. I was absolutely cold to my bones today. I couldn't get warm. I just couldn't get warm. It was cold.
It was cold.
I'm like, South Carolina, what are you doing? It was 80 degrees last week. I turned off my freaking heat, looking to save some Dominion energy. And man, I was back on with it tonight. I walked in the door like, pump up the heat. So we're under a cold front right now. And I mean, I feel a little guilty complaining with those who are stuck in the house with a blizzard. But at the end of the day, cold is cold.
Right. That part.
Yes. So I hope that you guys had a great day today and had a blessed day more than anything. So
Yes.
Come on, hit him with the topic tonight.
Yeah. So the topic we're talking about tonight is, what do you do when you've outgrown a friend or relationship?
Right. So let me just give my little hook, because that was a great topic. I was like working on it today. Man, I've been doing a million things today. I mean, you didn't ask me how my day was.
Well, you didn't give me a chance to.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Started talking about other stuff. Well, how was your day?
My day was cold. No, I'm just kidding.
You went straight to the cold.
Yeah, it was cold today. I mean, I had to do some things at work today that required me to go outside. I was like, oh my goodness. And normally I walk, but today I was like, get in this car and drive. You know, I was driving everywhere today because I was that cold today. So, other than that, my day was good. I'm winding down to my grand opening. So obviously
yeah.
I'm working really hard to make sure we give the people what they want, a great show.
Yes.
So I'm just been working in overdrive to make sure that this show is successful, this grand opening. So my day was full.
And when is it again?
It is February 28th at Majestic Rose from 7 to 10. Can't wait to see you and serve you.
And what are they getting? Give them a little highlight.
Oh man, they're gonna get it all. They're gonna get me. We're gonna have a host coming all the way from New York City.
That's right.
I have somebody coming all the way from New York City to host the people. We have a live DJ.
Yep.
We have a complimentary glass of wine. We have health and wellness exercises, interactive exercises with the people. And we also have finally the grand finale. Okay. The grand finale. We have our waterfall painting, and we have a whole message behind that. I mean, you're getting a whole lot. We put in, well, it's the grand opening, so you're going to get a little extra wink, wink.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm excited for it. But this topic is really good because what I wrote here is, have you ever felt your friendship was suffocating?
Oh, yeah.
Like no matter how much you gave, you're the one bending, adjusting, and compromising, and yet your friend or the other person just stays the same.
Right.
So I really want to dive into that. Like, when do you know when a relationship is over? Not just your friendship. I mean, it could be your personal relationship. It can be relationship with your church family. It can be relationship with your personal biological family. When do you know when it's time to just throw in the towel? Or do we fight for our relationships, you know?
Well, I guess it depends. You know what I'm saying? It depends on what you value in that particular relationship. You know, one of my rules when I got my homeboys, my friends, is like, no matter what's going on, if we fall out, if we got a situation going on, Nobody got to know what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Meaning, if we got beef, drama, we not getting along, that stays in house.
Okay.
You know, you don't go
Okay.
tell other people what we got going on. You don't go airing out my dirty laundry and vice versa. I got homeboys I haven't spoken to in a while. People ask me, "Yo, how's such and such doing?" I'm like, "Oh, he's doing good."
Okay, I
You
like
know,
that.
I don't believe in that. And I don't want to say it's a New York thing, but I found it like, well, let me not say that. I'm about to compare the South and the North again.
Don't
you
do
know?
that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
But you know, I ain't trying to get, I ain't trying to get smoked on here tonight. You know, but you know, New York is our culture is just different than other cities. I'll put it like that.
I was saying that today at work. I was saying that, we kind of, my mindset was my mom always taught me how to just mind my business.
Right.
I didn't get involved in just jumping in somebody else's business.
Right, for sure. And the thing about it is, like, again, going back to what I was saying, when you keep it like that, when you guys rekindle and you guys come back together, now nobody know what happened on the outside,
Right?
Because you kept it in house. But when you start talking about, forget him, cussing, blah, 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 now you make it way more difficult. So now it's like, hold up, you guys are back close now. You was just
Right.
talking about him on social media.
Right,
You was just talking
right.
about him to such and such. But when you keep it in house, when nobody knows what's going on, it makes things more harmonious when you guys decide to get back together.
Exactly, because like when we was growing up, and I told my kids, like, I don't care what we got going on up in here. What happens in here stays in here. You know what I mean?
That's right, bro. Up north is different.
Yeah, you keep it in the house. Like, I don't care.
What's up,
We in
Kim?
here. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm just shocked about as you talk.
Oh, okay. So when I was raising my kids, and my mom taught me this too. Whatever was going on in the house, it stayed in the house. And of course, there's a huge school of thought with that. Some people say that is dangerous, and there could be things happening in the house that children need to speak about. But you guys know what I mean. I don't mean when to get into all that deep stuff. But if we having a little family quarrel, that stays in the house. Don't go around talking about it to the whole family. It stays in the house, and we work it out amongst family. Immediate family.
Right.
So it's the same thing with friendships. Like, I have so many friends. Well, I shouldn't say so many, because I have a core friendship and core sisterhood. But with those friends, you have different relationships with them. But no matter if we are quarreling, if we're in strife, whatever we might got going on, we keep it amongst us. We don't go ragging them out to nobody else. At least we don't do that.
Right. And that's a rule. You know what I'm saying? I don't play that. My rule is, if you came to my house, if you've been around my family, my children, my mom, and you start airing out situations that we talked about, like, that's a red flag. Like, I gotta
Right.
cut you off, bro. Like, I'm serious. I don't play that. And all of my friends, that's still my friends today, right, that I still communicate with, we all have fell out, because I believe true friendship is like a diamond. A diamond is made under pressure. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I don't really, how can I put it? I don't really, I don't really fathom how a person really interacts unless they've been tested. Like, I want to see who you are when things are going bad. I want to see who you are when you're going through a struggle, when you're going through strife, when you're going through any type of adversity, because that's the real character. Everybody could be who you want to be when things is good, when you making the
Right.
money, when you know what I'm saying? But let me see your character when me and you fall out, when we not getting along, when we got some beef or drama going on. Let me see how you're going to really interact and keep our business to ourselves. So the people that I'm still tight with today, we all have fell out. You know what I'm saying? Almost came to blows sometimes.
Oh, man.
But it didn't, thank God. But we always managed to maintain the respect for each other.
That's key.
And
That's
never
key.
let people know what was going on.
That's brotherhood and sisterhood. That's really what key is, because my girlfriend is coming out with a tell-all book, and I'm like, oh my God, how much are you telling? You know what I mean? Because we had some days we had some times back in the days. But like you said, when there's friendships, you do sometimes get to the point where you argue, especially back in the days when you was, well, I'm going to say when you was in your 20s and you hanging out in the club, and, and then it's the other part where you got friends amongst the group that's fighting, and you got to play mediator with them. You know what I mean? Because you got your clique, and now two people in the clique are fighting, and this person's telling, yo, you better get your girl, and the other one's saying, you better get your girl, and you're like, look, both of y'all are my girls, so look, chill out, both of you. So it's all of that too that comes with friendship, and that's what makes it, it really makes it special. When, I always tell my friends that I love all of my sisters equally. And so when y'all are quarreling and y'all are having issues, I'm like, leave me out of it. You know what I mean? I don't mind mediating, but don't be trying to put me in it, because nobody else is going to I'm not pulling nobody's sides. I'm not going sides. I'm not
Right.
going with sides.
So here's the thing. People don't realize this. What up, though? D-Town, the building. My boy DJ, man. You know, the owner of ZTS Security. We got Kim on here
All
who does
right.
hair. She's on fire with the hair. We got people watching, man. What's up? What's up? Shout out. If you're on here, drop your name in the comment, like, share, hit highlights, and follow us. But here's the thing, y'all. Growth is beautiful until it costs you people. Right? Sometimes elevation feels like isolation.
Okay.
You know, and here's why I say that growth is beautiful until it costs you people, because everybody want to be with somebody, and it's cool when it's growth is beautiful when it's cool, when you got things going on, when you got motion, when you got, you know what I'm saying,
Emotion. That's that part right
when
there.
you got
Emotion.
motion going on, you know what I'm saying, until it costs you people. Like you said, it costs you people when you have an issue going on, and it's like now you begin to tell my dirty laundry to other people. Now it's costing me people. Now you telling my business to other people that's getting them involved. And now it's just spreading like wildfire.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? So growth is beautiful until it costs you people. And unfortunately, like you always taught us, everybody can't go.
Nope.
And I think about Brother Ivory from years ago.
All
and
right
Brother
now.
Ivory, you know what I'm about to say.
I know what you're about
And Brother
to say.
Ivory is actually in the Men's Matter movement in the organization. So it's crazy because this brother has poured into me when I was
Well, tell the name of the organization it was.
the Buffalo Soldiers.
Yeah.
You know, this brother poured into me when I was like, oh man, like 13, 14 years old.
Right.
Came down from New York, and he poured into me in full circle moment. Now, you know, he's a part of our organization now with Men
I
Matter.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he's in Men Matter.
I never told me that. Oh,
I told you that.
No, I
yeah,
didn't know
he came.
that.
He came to a couple of sessions.
Oh, that's what's up.
You
That's
know,
what's up.
and he always told us, you know, back then, you know, somebody has to do it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Think about it. This is real. Like everybody want to be a multi-millionaire, but everybody don't. People aspire to have a lot of money, you know, but some people don't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And he told us like somebody got to mop the floors.
That
Somebody,
stayed with you, didn't it?
it did. Somebody got to be a janitor. And I learned that everybody's role is important.
Absolutely.
You know, because you need the janitors. You
That's
need
right.
the people at Chick-fil-A and McDonald's taking your orders. You need the CEOs and the businessmen. You need the entrepreneurs. You need everybody's role is vital.
Right.
You know, somebody got to go to heaven. Somebody got to go to hell. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Like you said, life is a balance,
Yeah,
right?
life is a balance,
It
right?
is.
Because if it wasn't for one, it wouldn't be the other. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
everybody's not going to do the things it requires to get the result that they want. So the thing about that is that thing stuck with me that, listen, somebody has to do it. And unfortunately, when it comes to growth, isolation, everybody can't go with you because everybody's not going to do what it takes to be solid and loyal and ride with you until the result is done.
Yeah, and then sometimes, you know, people don't see your vision the same way. And when you have friendships, sometimes you throw your vision on the table because those are your sisters and your brothers, whatever have you may. And sometimes everybody don't see your vision. So that's when you have to learn in life to say, okay, this person don't see it the way I see it. Doesn't mean that they're not your friend though.
Right.
It doesn't mean that they're not your friend because everybody just don't see the same vision. You know, there
No,
are things,
yeah,
even
for sure.
with my son, man, he got, I want to say this word, and if I say it wrong, forgive me, but it's a Jewish word called chutzpah. It's called chutzpah. It means you got guts, right? And some people call balls, whatever. You know, everybody got different names for it.
Right.
You know, we say guts, whatever. But he has that. So he's come to me with his visions and some of his goals. And I'm like, what? And most of the time it's something around money. And he's telling me how much it costs. And I'm like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I don't know. That seems a little high. And he's like, well, mind you have to do it for this or for that. And those are his dreams and those are his aspirations. I don't ever tell him don't do it. I just might say, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'll give you an example on that, right?
I'm like,
we're gonna take a little detour. So it's been times where I have paid for masterminds, and I've called my mom. I've told Sharon, I'm like, listen, this mastermind costs $20,000.
Right.
This mastermind costs $35,000, and she's like, what? and I'm like, yo, sometimes you gotta pay to get in certain rooms. I know them. I know sometimes it's like that sounds crazy, right? But sometimes, in my opinion, and the people I've been around, when you pay attention, right?
Yes,
When you
that's
pay,
true.
you pay attention. Because a lot of times when people get stuff for free, not all the time, but sometimes when things are free, they don't value it the same because it's like, oh, I didn't have to pay for that.
Right.
Think about when you go places and you spend $100 for a ticket, you spend $20 for a show. You're not going to the bathroom.
Right.
You're going to hold it because like, I'm not missing this show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like, I've spent some money to be in certain rooms and environment, but I got so much value. I met people because if you spend, it don't gotta be $20,000. If you spend $500, $1,000 for a ticket to an event, the people that spent that money that's in that event, they also have the same mindset that you have that, hey, I want to win, right? And now you begin to collaborate with them. And I met some phenomenal people over these last 3 to 5 years that has really helped catapult my life mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally, that really has blessed me by spending that kind of money.
Right.
You know,
So, but when you came to me, I was more like, I don't know, because in my mind, it seemed like it was too much, but that didn't stop him. And it didn't mean that I didn't love him and want the best for him. So that's what happens sometimes, even with friendships, right?
right.
You know, that somebody might come to you with their dream and somebody might be bold enough to say, no, don't do that.
Right.
You know, I wouldn't do that. You know, I think that's my mother's famous line. I wouldn't do that.
Let me ask y'all a question, and you too. And y'all in the comments, feel free to comment and answer this question. Have you ever felt guilty for growing?
No, absolutely not. I have not. I mean, I'm growing right now and I'm not feeling guilty at all.
No. It's been a point in my life where I felt guilty for growing. I felt guilty because of some of the friends I was around or people that I love or I value. They didn't see the same value I saw, right? And I was like, it's almost like you want people to win so bad more than they do.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I can
saying?
see that.
And then when you start hitting certain levels of success, you start feeling guilty, like, because now you know they can't do the things that you could do. Or you feel guilty, like, I don't want to talk about my success. I want to feel like I'm bragging.
Now, I can see that. You know, I can definitely see that one. You know, like I don't want to talk about it too much because when you're growing and you're passionate about something, it doesn't even mean necessarily it's a business, but whatever you're passionate about, you talk about that thing all the time because you're so passionate about it. Somebody else that's not as passionate might be like, "Oh my God, here you go again." You know, like, come on, enough of this already. And then sometimes they might even say that to you. Then it kind of shuts you down, like you don't want to share anymore.
Right.
So I can see that for sure.
Right. And here's why my brother D said no. He said nope.
I'm with D.
Because here's what I realized, right? There's 3 types of relationships. There are 3 types of relationships. You got seasonal, you got situational, and you got covenant.
Ooh, all right. Snap on that one.
You got seasonal, situational, and you got covenant, right? Seasonal is meant for a specific time in your life. Mm-hmm. Then you have situational, connected by proximity, right? Which is, again, getting in the rooms. It could be the gym. That's also a room. It could be church. That's a room. Okay. Or it could be work, right? And or school. Right. That's situational. You got covenant, deep, purpose-driven, iron sharpens iron type relationships. You know, and you have to identify in the people in your life which category do they fall into. Oh. And the only way to identify that is through what? Time. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So what you got?
I mean, with that situation, I agree with that 100%. I just had a question for you. Okay. Have you ever lost yourself trying to keep a friend happy?
Have I lost myself trying to keep a friend happy? Yeah, I think so. Because, you know, you find yourself, even to this day, certain people in my life, like listen, I'm cool with everybody. You know, no matter who you are, what you do. I've learned to love people where they at.
Right. That's
you know,
important.
because
right.
A lot of times I found myself trying to elevate people to new heights mentally, financially, or even spiritually that wasn't ready.
Right.
And that became more of a burden on me and a burden on the relationship because it's like, oh, here he go again talking about this. I don't want to talk about that. Like, I'm okay drinking. I'm okay smoking. I'm okay at this job. I'm okay in this house. I'm okay driving this kind of car. And I had to learn to respect people for wanting to be at that level. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because love really does cover, and that falls under love, you know, and it comes with wisdom as well, because if your friend is not ready to stop doing certain things, and you know that, then here you go coming and beating them like with a belt every single time, then that absolutely puts a strain in the friendship, and it kind of can separate you, because it's like, I don't want to hear this person preaching to me where I'm wrong, because like you said, you have to love people. We should love people where they're at, you know what I mean? Nobody wants, you know, when you're elevating, you're growing. And that's the question tonight. So if you was a friend that used to drink and club and everything like that, and that person is still drinking and clubbing, does that mean your friendship is over, or does that mean you have to do other things with your friends? And are they willing to do those other things?
Yeah, I think it comes down to a point where you have to learn to compromise. Okay. I think everything can be solved through a conversation. Okay. As I always say, people don't want to have the tough conversations. you have to be willing to have the tough conversations like, yo, bro, or yo, sis, I understand you still want to smoke, drink, as Biggie say, partying, BS, you know. But I'm not on that type of time no more. Like I'm trying to grow, I'm trying to elevate, and not saying you not, you know what I'm saying. But hey, maybe let's attend this conference together, or hey, let's read this book together.
Right.
Let's read 10 pages a day. Let's start, you know, and I've started that with some of my friends in the men's group. You know, I'm like, yo, bro, let's read 10 chapters today or 10 pages today of this book, or let's go to the gym. My boy Dion just hit me up like, yo, bro, I see you working out. Hold me accountable. We're working out.
Right.
I'm trying to get ready for summer. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like before we came on the podcast, I hit some weights in the garage and I had them on the phone. I had them in my ear. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm gonna hit these weights. Like listen in, tap in, you know, but accountability.
That's
you know
important.
what I'm saying?
That's
So it's important to have that.
And bringing your friendships up, that's really important. And that's the thing, like, you know, because just because your friend or your person in your life is drinking or smoking or doing those things, and I mean, we're just saying that it could be a number of things it could be. It doesn't mean that you can no longer be their friend. You could be honest with your friend, like you said, and have tough conversations. Like, I'm not doing that no more, but I'm not judging you for what you're doing. You know, because if you see me, you know, maybe like you said, working out and getting healthy and getting small, and maybe you might even see me growing. Your love for that person can make them say, well, man, I need to stop this. Look
Right.
at what she's doing. Look at what he's doing. He's really doing. I might slow back a little bit. Because I know even me, when I'm around certain friends that don't live a certain way or talk a certain way, I level up.
For real.
I level up. I'm like, I'm not going to go there and be talking like this tonight. You know what I mean? Not around them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I start to level up. So why don't we be that, you know, that person for other people? I think that's important.
I like that, D. No matter what, we all got the same 24 hours in the same day. No matter what, end of the day, you gotta take care of yourself before you take care of anybody else.
Absolutely.
Time doesn't wait for nobody. That's so true.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't.
But that is so true. Like people I'm around that work out. When I was heavier, I got I had friends that always worked out. And I hated going around them sometimes when we talked about fitness because I was like, God, dog, I can't run, I can't lift, I can't, you know.
Right.
But we'd all be in certain masterminds. They'd be like, hey guys, let's go outside and do a 2-mile run.
Right. And you're like,
And
what?
I know I can't do that. So I start saying something like, nah, I'm gonna sit back and work on these modules, or I'm gonna sit back and read my book. I'm gonna sit back and write in my journal. Like,
But you definitely didn't sit back and pull out a slice of pizza. Because you knew that you had to level up a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't eating crazy.
Nah, when
You
you're
know-
around certain people, you typically something, if you're smart, something kind of triggers inside and say, nah, I'm not going to do that in front of them. It's like, you know.
But I had a burning desire to want to do those things.
Right.
But I knew I physically could not keep up.
Right.
And because of that, I allowed my doubt, my fear, my self-consciousness to get in the way to not participate in those actions. And I know those guys and girls at the time would have been like, oh, come on, Lawrence. You know, they would have like, you know, rooted me on. But my pride wouldn't let me do it.
Right.
Because I knew I couldn't keep up. And I was like, I don't want to slow those guys down. But we went to a mastermind one time and like we all got this huge Airbnb. All the guys had a huge Airbnb, or the ladies had one, right? It was like a duplex. And long story short, all the guys woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, went on like a 2-3 mile run.
Wow.
And I was the only one that stayed back in the Airbnb.
Wow.
Because of my weight, I was too tired to get up, right? I was sluggish, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to keep up with those guys, so I didn't do it.
Right. Right. I mean,
You
yeah.
know, but now I'm like, what up? What up? What up? Where y'all at? You know?
Bring them out. Bring them out. Bring them out. Yes. So, I had another question. I'm trying to find it. I wrote so many questions down. Can't find the one that I want.
Well, I got a
Okay.
question.
Okay.
Going back to the 3 types of people I talked about, seasonal, situational, and covenant, right? Are we holding seasonal people to covenant expectations?
I'm not sure if I understand that.
Okay, so a person that's seasonal, they're meant to be in your life for a specific
Right,
time,
right.
right? So are we holding people that we just met, people that we bonded with, people that we loved and care about, but they haven't proven themselves to be covenant yet? Or are we holding them to covenant expectations
Okay.
too prematurely?
I think that happens sometimes when you meet people. You're trying to bring them underneath your umbrella sometimes, and they might not even want to be under the umbrella. They might want to stay wet. You know what I mean? And you're trying to bring them into a certain lifestyle, a certain way of living, a certain way of acting. So yeah, I can see myself probably have done that before. I know that it's funny you said that because a dear friend of mine we was talking about the grand entrance of my night. And I was like trying to find the right music to come out on because I'm a music girl. Anybody who knows me know I'm a music girl. And so I was even talking about coming out to DMX, y'all gonna make me lose my mind, because I'm, listen, I love God, but I love music, right? And he was like, what? DMX?
Right.
Oh my God, and then for a second he was like trying to, I don't know, he wasn't trying to shame me, but I can feel the pressure of that, of kind of like the question of, are you a Christian? What kind of Christian would listen to DMX? That type of feel was in the air. You know what I mean? I can feel it. And I was like, listen, I'm going to come out to whatever I want to come out to. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Because that's not going to be, that music is not going to define my soul in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, I love God, and, and I'm not saying I'm right and I'm wrong. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying where I'm at today, I would have no problem coming out to that song. And then somebody else was telling me, no, I need to come out to this song. But either way, in that moment, feeling compromised, like, ooh, you know what I mean? Are you trying to tell me that I should be, I'm not spiritual enough to come out to that song? So I think sometimes people can do that in their life because they're at a certain level with their relationship with God, and they automatically trying to pull you under that same umbrella. So I think we all have been guilty of doing that, like trying to hold them to a covenant. What do you say, covenant?
Yeah, covenant. So you got covenant, situational,
yeah, hold them to that, and
seasonal.
maybe they're not where you're at yet. So sometimes it's just wise just to kind of listen, let the person tell you their choices. And I think sometimes in life we sometimes overtalk ourselves. I think that we do that sometimes. So yeah, I think we should meet people, like you said, where they're at. And you can offer suggestions. You can definitely offer suggestions. But I mean, I think I don't ever want to make somebody feel guilty or bad based on how I live my life. You know what I mean? I want to be the example to people out there, and hopefully be the right example enough that people will say, oh, okay, Elizabeth is really transparent. She's real. And I wouldn't mind following what she's saying.
Now, here's the caveat to that. Y'all ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? So here's the caveat to that. Are we afraid to release someone because of history?
Meaning friendship or anybody?
Anybody. History with
a
relationship, a marriage.
Oh, yes.
A friendship, church, your pastor, your boss. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes. Sometimes a lot of people I know stay on jobs for just feeling like they're obligated to, because they
say something about me.
Yeah. They stay on jobs sometimes because they feel like, oh, I'm so good with I can't leave my manager. She wouldn't make it without me. She depends on me, and they're kind of, I don't want to say pigeonholing themselves, but at the end of the day, they're holding themselves back because they feel obligated to stay with that person. I know for me, I stayed in my marriage for so long because I felt like what was going to happen if I left. How was he going to make it? I'm thinking about how he was going to make it. He made it just fine. People, I'm telling you, are resilient, and they make it without you.
Yeah.
So don't ever stay in a situation because you're so concerned about that other person, thinking that they're not going to make it without you. Because trust me, they do.
That's deep.
They do. I was sitting here worrying about Sam, and Sam was like, I am moved on and I'm good, So, I mean, yeah, I can see that happening.
All right, Lynetta's on here. She said, or you're comfortable and secure in your position.
That can happen. You can get so comfortable that you don't even want to aspire. Especially, you wouldn't know this, but when you start hitting a certain age, you start feeling like, I just need my security. I just need my security. And a lot of people don't want to jump out of their comfort zones because they feel they've reached a certain age, and it's like, I'm ready for retirement. I'm ready for retirement, and I can't leave my job. And it's like you just get stuck in that motion. Whereas there are other people that, I know I say his name a lot, Sid Roth. Here, I'm listening to this man at 85 starting new businesses every day. You know what I mean? Maybe not every day, but he's continuously starting new businesses, and he's continuously moving on to new levels, and he's not even thinking about his age. And I think sometimes when you hit 40 plus, you start thinking about your security. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but that shouldn't be something that we just sit in our life to say, okay, now I'm 40. Now I have to stay in this job because I'm 40. And now I don't have to aspire to get my dreams met. You can still maybe stay in your job, and you can still start a small business. Do what you want to do to be successful. Do not get complacent. I think we make that mistake, especially as you get older.
Yeah, because a lot of people, like, you think about Sam Walton. You think about the guy that made Disney World. You think about KFC. All these guys not Louis Vuitton. Yeah, I think it's Louis Vuitton. A lot of these guys got rich in their 40s plus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They had an idea and they got rich 40
I
years and
think I
older.
think the Colonel was actually at retirement age when he got
Yeah.
that seasoning. Yeah, I think he was he had already retired from his job. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so people think that, because you hit that plateau of, oh, I'm 40 years old now. Like you
Right.
said, I'm thinking about retirement. Nah, you still get out there and grind. And, here's the thing. We always talk about God, and many people don't know I'm on my journey of reading the Bible. For the first time ever in my life, I'm going through reading the whole Bible. And it's actually really interesting.
It is.
And I'm at the part, I'm in the book of Mark, and it's talking about how, when Jesus was on a boat, and the wind was blowing, and they said
Right.
he was laying on the boat with his hand behind his head, relaxing, chilling.
Right. Right.
I'm just paraphrasing,
of
for
course,
for us, what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Put a little dramatics with
Jesus on a boat chilling, what I'm saying, got his hair blowing, the winds, the waves, the boat is rocking all crazy, and everybody's panicking, saying, Master, Jesus,
Right.
Jesus, we about to hit a storm. He's like y'all, like what? Y'all
While
tripping
you're
over
worried,
this?
yeah. While you're worried,
And he said to the storms, silence,
No, be
stop,
still, yeah.
be still.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it stopped. And it talks about, how if we have faith of a mustard seed,
And I have a mustard seed too. It's so tiny.
and it's so tiny. It's so tiny. You know what I'm saying? And we, as humans, we have the faith to believe God for things that we can see.
Right.
Like if you got this job, if I apply for this job and I got the credentials and the resume,
Right.
I'm a candidate for this position, so I can believe I could get that job.
Right.
But if somebody or if your child is sick, you can believe they're gonna get healed because that's your child, and
Right.
you want that so bad for your child or for your mother, your father, whoever it is. But when it comes to like your goals and dreams, because it's something that most people can't see except for you, like we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago, the prescription of your glasses.
Right.
Like these are made for your eyes, for your vision.
Correct.
If I put them on right now, I probably can't see. Why? Because it's not my vision.
Right.
And too many times we are putting lenses, your glasses on other people's faces to see through your eyes for your vision. They can't see it.
They can't see it.
And because they can't see it, they begin to down talk you. And now your faith dwindles.
Right.
And now you can't see your vision that God gave you.
Right. That's man. That's so true. I like that analogy. That's absolutely true. So the thing about it is, I think we get caught up in tradition of men, right? Tradition of
good.
men. Go ahead. I want to hear what to say.
Dee said, I want to retire when I'm still able to move around without hurting.
Right.
Retiring at, well, y'all comment tonight. Let me scroll up. Retiring at 60, 70 years old is pointless. Yes, you want to be able to. Listen, I went to the store, and I got to say this, and I felt so bad for this guy. I'm not going to say what the store was because maybe somebody know him in South Carolina. I went to the store to go buy an item, and this guy was so old working in the store, and he could barely walk.
Wow.
I mean, he was like shuffling, seriously shuffling.
Right.
And his like hip was kind of deformed, and he was so sweet, a sweet older guy.
Right.
And he helped me find the items I was looking for, and I was like, Jesus, here this guy got to be at least 80 something years old,
Oh man.
working in the store, and not because maybe he wants to, but maybe he has to.
Right.
Many people that's working in these stores that's 60, 70, 80 years old, they don't desire to do that.
Right.
It's just because they don't have the finances that we are now in the information age that we can learn about how to make more money. We are in the biggest wealth transfer in this generation. But people like my grandmother, my mom's side, my dad's side, they wasn't privy to the information that we have today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Thank God that, grandma, your mom was able to have a business acumen at a young age,
Right.
to where she don't have to work if she don't want to. But many people like that young man, older gentleman, I felt so bad for him. And I was like, Jesus, he
Right.
barely could move around.
Right. And that's, I mean, I don't want to get off my topic, but you're right. Because I do want to say, and that's where it's important for us, with those who have the heart of God, to be able to be in a position that you can bless them for a day and say, you know what, let me, give you something to maybe you can take a couple of days off to relax. You know what I mean?
Right. But how much you make in a day, bro?
Right.
$100 or $200, whatever the price is.
Right.
Here's that amount of money. Take a day for yourself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why
right.
I desire to be wealthy. Not for me. It used to be because I want all these different things, and I still do. Lord knows my heart. I still want my Rolls Royce. But I really want to be able to bless people.
Right.
You know
That's
what I'm saying?
important. That's important. And he knows your heart, like you say, he knows your heart. What's the comment?
Wes said, this how I be chilling when I'm in the storm. I have my feet up cooling.
Exactly. So getting back to the friendship thing, It's a funny question I want to ask. I know we are at different ages in life, but if your homeboy, your brother came up to you and said he had beef tonight, would you fight for a friend? And where you at today? Would you go fight? If he say, look, I got beef, they're coming to me right now, would you throw up your hands to help fight for a friend? Or let's just say you in a club together.
That's a good question.
Yeah, you in a club together now. And now that, your homeboy getting jumped in a club or, having some type of beef or, what would you do in that situation now?
Now, getting jumped is there. If I'm there, you getting jumped. I'm not gonna let you get jumped.
Okay, so let's scratch jump because that you got to jump in.
Yeah, you got to jump in. If you don't jump in, that's shame on you.
Yeah, if you let me get jumped out there, my sisters, we're done.
Yeah,
okay?
that's over.
At least break it up, man.
It's over. Right. Right. At least
break it up. But let's just say your friend comes to you and say, "I got some beef, and I want to go take care of these guys. I need you to come with me tonight." What would you do?
You asked me a question on the air.
Okay, well, I'll answer it.
I'll answer it. So if one of my boys come and say I got some beef, first I'm gonna ask him what's going on.
Right.
Because you got three sides of a story. You got your side, their side, and the truth.
Right.
You got your side, their side, and the truth. So I'm gonna be like, yo, what's really going on? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna try to diffuse it. Like again, it's all about with men. It comes down to pride.
Right.
A guy told you I'm gonna slap the SAT out of you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do this to you.
What's your father's favorite line? I love that line. He says, "The hero survives or the coward."
Oh, my father always say it's the coward
that lives to tell the story.
The hero always dies. My dad said the hero always dies in the story.
Right.
And too many times as men, we trying to be the hero. Trying to prove a point. And now you locked up in prison or you in jail or you fighting a case, have to pay for lawyers, or you dead, and you know what I'm saying? For what?
My homeboy, right?
For my homeboy. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have your homeboys back, but being a real friend is having a conversation like, bro, you wrong.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I understand, blah, 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 but let's not go down that road.
Well, I think that takes courage to do that. I think that's what I would have said. Like, if my girlfriends came to my house, man, I'm 54. You come on, we're going to go outside and fight. Not saying I can't still get down. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
Remember you used to carry back in the days in the trunk?
Yeah. Don't play with me. That Panamanian blood come out. So I'm saying that at this age now with my wisdom, you know what I mean? Not so much my strength, my wisdom now will say, look, come on. First of all, how old are we? And then what are the consequences of these actions? Even if my homegirl was right, because she could have been right. As a matter of fact, I'm not mentioning any friends. I'm not going to mention any names on air, but I did have a friend that was acting up, and I had to girl, come on, chill, because this can go further, you know what I mean? And then and it can get out of hand real quick. And is it worth you losing your job? Is it worth your kids seeing you in jail? That's my thing all the time. So I got adult children now, so now I gotta, I have to think about what they're going to think about me. So. I mean, I got to call my sons and my daughters and tell them my mommy's locked up, get me out for having a brawl. You know what I mean? That's crazy.
I'm laughing when my boys on here, my boy Wes on here. Wes, it was I got a story. This is so funny. Wes, I'm definitely fighting for my friends.
Oh, man.
I'll never forget. And Wes, I don't know if you remember the story or not. It was years ago. This is when me and Dion had just enlisted in the military. To this day, we still talk about this story, me and Dion.
Oh, my God.
But anyway, long story short, we was at a club called, I think it was called Truth. Either Truth or Drink. I don't know. It was somewhere downtown.
Right.
And some drama happened. Keys was out there. We all was outside. And we was in the car. And Wes always been level-headed, though. My brother Wes always been level-headed. And here was a moment where it was like, when our boys got into some drama at a club, and me and Dion had just sworn into the Army. Like, we just sworn that day.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? We just got sworn into the military. You know what I'm saying? We government employees. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, Sharonda's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? I'm having my daughter soon. And, I'm 19 years old, and I'm like, all right, I'm trying to get my life together. And now my boy's just having a little issue.
Right.
And long story short, we about to go fight.
Oh, man.
And Wes was like, yo, what are y'all doing? Think about that. Like, y'all need to chill out. The cops is coming. And I'm so grateful for that.
Right.
Because had it not been for Wes, you probably don't even know that, but had it not been for Wes, I'd probably been in jail right now.
Right.
Well, not right now. I would have been in and out, but I had a record. You know what I'm saying? But he was level-headed that night to say, like, what are y'all doing?
Think about it.
Like, think about that.
Think about it.
You know what I'm saying? And Dion was ready to, he was TGT, trained to go. He's ready to go. And then listening to Wes told Dion, like, nah, bro, let's not get involved in that.
Right. And see, that's
we all ended up leaving. You know what I'm saying? Nobody died. Nobody got into a fight. Nobody got locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Or beat up.
That. Yeah, or beat up.
Or beat somebody else up. So that was good. And it takes courage for one. I always say walk against the current. And it takes one person to walk against the current. So I think real friendship, like I say, now I'm not going to let my girls get beat down in front of me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let that happen.
Right.
You know, I would definitely be like, yo, chill before it happens. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Chill out. You know, I don't want that to happen. So it takes courage for somebody to be like, chill out, stop. So Wes, big ups to Wes for that. Big ups.
Wes said, Mama, you too seasoned to be out here throwing hands now.
I mean, really, you know, okay, that's a nice way of telling me, oh, Wes, okay, big down to Wes now.
Yeah, he said that. He said, I remember that. Couldn't let y'all throw your life away. Yeah,
I
for
love
real.
that.
Yeah, that was real, Wes. That was real.
It is true. And you're right. To a certain extent, he's correct. Because, I mean, you know, when you look at older women outside fighting, it just looks bad, right? It just looks bad. It just looks like, you somebody's mama. Hell, I'm somebody.
Sean said, depends on the friends. Kim said, I'm screaming security.
I like that. You know what I mean? You somebody's mama, and hell, in my case, I'm somebody's grandmama out here fighting.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, so I mean, we got to be a little more wiser than that. But
We do.
would you fight for a friend? Like you said, I guess somebody
That was
said
a
it
good
depends.
question.
It depends on the situation, right?
It do depend. It
Right,
do
it
depends.
does.
You know, because I'm not gonna let none of my boys get smoked now. Man.
Right.
I'm not letting that happen. You know, but
Here's another question for the audience and for you too. If your friend lies to you or betrays you, is it worth fixing? Because, you know, people do lie. Is it worth fixing if I'm talking about your friend, your brother, not like this person you just met. I'm talking about when I wrote that question, I meant like my sisters. If they lie if they lied to me or betrayed me, is it worth fighting for?
that's a good question.
Yeah. I think that it just depends for me on the lie, and it definitely depends on the betrayal. You know, I mean, could you walk away if somebody slept with your wife? No, that friendship is over.
Over with.
You know, it's betrayed. That's beyond, you know what I mean? The trust is gone, right? And it crossed the lines, you know what I mean? So I guess it depends on the betrayal and it depends on the lie. But I would love to hear the audience jump into that.
D said it depends. It do depend. You know, is it like a petty lie, or is it something that's like monumental? Like, you know, me and my friends know, like, you know, we lie and play games, but if I'm asking you a question for real, like, you know, keep it 100 with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't the time to be playing, like, this ain't that. Like, I need to know what's really going on.
Right.
You know, for the most part, you know, I've been blessed to really have some good friends. And again, to come through understanding the conversation. Like, most of my friends, like, you got to know people.
Right.
They know my facial expressions. They know, like, if I'm being for real or if I'm playing. Like, yo, bro, like, I'm being, like, I need to know what's up. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, all of my friends always want to keep it real with me.
Right.
You know, and tell me if I'm wrong or tell me if I'm right. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate that with my friends, man. I
think it's true. I think it depends on the situation. I think, honestly, I don't like lies at all. I think that if we're friends, we shouldn't have to lie to each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, so for me, a lie, it would bother me. It would bother me, but it wouldn't mean that I would end the friendship.
Facts. If he lied to me to protect me from something, I can get over it.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Yeah,
me too.
Okay, mommy's on here. Happy birthday too.
It's not her birthday yet. It's tomorrow.
Well, Facebook said it was today.
Oh, you know, Facebook. Y'all be lying, huh?
Why you got your Facebook thing on here wrong, mommy? God dog, I wrote you happy birthday on Facebook today. But nevertheless, happy early birthday.
It depends, she said. It does depend.
Yeah, it depends. A lot of people say it depends.
It depends on what it is. Like I said, I personally don't like lies, period, from my kids, from anybody. You know, it's like, man, what you lying for? But it depends on the lie. You know, I'm like, come on. And I will call you out on a lie. Like, you lying.
I called my daughter-in-law this morning on the way to school. She lied about something with her phone. My baby girl, not my oldest daughter, she's looking at me now. My 9-year-old, she lied about something with her phone. And I was like, listen, if I find out you lying, I'm coming to your school with my belt. Because I told you she'd be so embarrassed with me giving her a hug and a kiss.
Oh, she's at
in front
that
of her
age
friends.
now, yeah.
Yeah, I can't kiss my daughter now in front of her friends. She's like, Daddy, stop. Now, my son, he still give me a hug and kiss. My oldest daughter, she the same way sometimes. But my baby girl don't play that. No, Daddy, no. So I said, if you lie to me,
baby.
I'm coming to your school with my belt, and I'm going to give you a whack. I did it. I'm sorry. I did it, Daddy. I did it. And I'm like, God, dog, it took that.
Right. What is not to say?
She said not if it's consistent lying.
Oh, consistent lying. That's true. Consistent lying. It breaks the sister girl trust. You're right, sis.
Dee said I don't have many friends because I tell the truth. Listen, that's me too, bro. I tell the truth with my friends.
I mean, that's important, you know. You're like, because you know when you catch somebody in a lie, I know for me, like, I have caught people in lies, and I don't say nothing right away. Like, I'm the type of person where I just kind of listen and I absorb, and I'm like, and I ponder it later, like, you lied to me, you know what I mean? And I'll ponder it later, and then I'll wait for the right time to bring it back up. But I will bring it back up to address it.
You gotta use wisdom.
I always use wisdom when it comes to that kind of stuff.
So here's some signs that you have outgrown a relationship. All right, y'all ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I was reading some of the comments. What's up, nephew? But thank you anyway. What's up? Where you at? Need to come by the house.
She better be here on Thursday. You better be here on Thursday, birthday and all.
Right. So here's some signs that you have outgrown a relationship. You feel drained after interactions. Like that's a key one. Your goals intimidate them.
Okay.
They mock your discipline or your faith. Okay. They only connect through trauma or negativity.
Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. When you got some people that only call you when they going through something.
Yep.
I don't hear nothing from you behind no other time. But the minute you get in some type of duress or some type of stress, here you go calling.
And here's the last one.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. That got me. I'm sorry. That got me.
Hold on.
Okay.
Here's the last one. You have to shrink to maintain peace.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now go off.
Yeah, I mean, there's okay, check it out. I'm going back to that. You know, you got some people in your life that they only call you when they're going through something.
Yeah, I can't stand
And then
that.
on top of them calling you because they're going through something, they monopolizing the conversation the whole time. You know what I mean? Telling you their problem. They, you know, like they just vomiting in your ear. And then it's like, after they get it all out, it's like, okay, you know, they may want your opinion, then they may hang up. You know, and it's like, why'd you call me and waste an hour of my time with your drama?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't hear nothing else from you except when you go out. Oh, I can't stand that when they just unload on you. I don't like that.
Mm-hmm.
That get on my nerve. But I do like the fact when you said about shrinking too. You feel like you have to shrink to kind of fit in. And I've actually experienced that before. I know one time, and I'll say this, when I first came down here to live, I won't say the restaurant it was, but I wasn't working. I was fresh out of New York, and I really, thank God, at the time I didn't have to work. You know, my kids was young, and my husband was working, so I didn't have to work. But a family member of mine had, you know, talked about needing some help, and I went to go work there, and everybody was talking on this low level vibe.
Low vibration.
Yeah. Okay. Help me. Yeah. They was on a low vibration there. Everybody was on a low vibration. It was like, you know how it is. You know, we all here working here. You know, we ain't making no money. And I was like, and I didn't feel the need to say, not me. You know what I mean? I didn't have the need to say, because I felt like if I did say that, I would have been sounding like I was better than them. So I kind of shrunk, and I didn't agree with them. I knew better than that. I just kind of shook my head like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? But right. I know that feeling, yeah.
That happens a lot, man.
Yeah, it does.
That happens so often that you have to always shrink yourself and minimize yourself, because sometimes your goals are just too big and people can't see. Like we talked about the analogy earlier. So a lot of times, even at work for me sometimes, I hear people talk about retirement, different things. And again, not knocking nobody. I love what I do. I love helping the community, you know, but I understand that, as I always say, you work your 9 to 5, right? But also you work your 5 to 9.
Oh man, that's
you know
so
what I'm
true.
saying? Work your 5 to 9 to help you reach your goals.
Right.
Like there's people that's multi-millionaires that still have a job.
Right.
You don't have to not. I don't know where this thing came from that you can't work a job and be an entrepreneur.
Right.
Right. You can still do what you love to do, help people in whatever career path you in, but you still could build your dreams. You still can have the nice house, cars, finances, 401k, retirement, investments from your business. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times people, like even on my job, you know, they talk about certain things, and I find myself not getting involved in the conversation because I'm just not there mentally. Right. And if you're not careful, if you're around them too much and begin to indulge in the conversations, it will begin to bring your brain back down. Because once you stop doing certain things, your mind automatically revert back to what it know.
So let me ask you this question. If you open up a business, is it your friend's job to support you? Do they have to come? Do they have to participate? You know?
Well, and again, I had to learn to stop expecting me from other people.
Oh.
Stop expecting me from other people.
Man, hold up. Hold the phone.
I had to learn
I
to
do that all
stop
the time.
expecting me from other people.
And you did teach me that too.
Yeah, because a lot of times the things that I would do, people would not do.
Because in my mind, I've always taught my kids loyalty. I'm huge on loyalty. If you're my sister and you're my sister or my brother, if you're doing something, I'm going to be there. I'm going to support it. That's just who I am. But like you say, everybody's not me or you. So, you can't, that doesn't mean they're not your friend. I mean, that doesn't mean that. They may not be as passionate about what you're passionate about. It doesn't mean that you're their friend. So you have to be real careful that you don't get your emotions caught in something. And then you feel like that person's not my friend because they didn't show up. So I think we have to be careful with that.
Right. That's so good. You know what I'm saying? And I have a segment on here talking about emotions, but for the sake of time, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about what not to do.
Okay.
Right? I like that. Everybody's saying yes, 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 support, support. The biggest thing, Mom, is loyalty. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is loyalty. Like my mother and my father taught me that.
Yes.
Here it is. Two parents, raised me in New York. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like
right.
we don't play about loyalty. Like that's the one thing that we don't play about. And my mother and my father have big hearts. You know what I'm saying? Like I got that honestly.
You definitely
from both
did.
sides. They could talk to both of them could talk to anybody in the room. So I got that honestly too. But they have also taught me how to forgive people, how to walk in love,
Right.
and how to be. My mother and my father are two of the most loyalest people you and me.
Yes.
And sometimes loyal to a fault.
Right.
And I think I have adopted that too. And
Sometimes.
And you told me that sometimes too about.
I tell you that all the time recently. Yes.
Yeah, like hey,
I think you might have that worse than me, buddy. He might have it worse than me. You are, oh man, Lawrence is loyal. You know what I mean? He is loyal. I am too, but boy.
Yeah, I mess up a lot, but my core, my heart, if I rock with you, right, wrong, or indifferent, I'm with you to the end.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like we may fall out, we may have some words, but I'm loyal to the end.
Yeah, because if my sisters are having something, I don't care what it is. I mean, unless it's something that's not so big and I really can't make it. I mean, it has to be something like I can't make it because I'm taking care of my children, my mother, something that won't physically allow me there. Not because I'm going to just sit in my house for the day and not go. You having something and you're my sister, I'm there. I'm going to support it.
Got to.
You know what I mean?
And like you said, when you don't support it, right? Now, if you forget all that, I get all of that. But if you just deliberately don't come because you don't feel like it, or I know you could have came, but you just choose not to. I'm at the point in my life now, I'm not even entertaining the conversation.
Right.
I'm like you, I'm making mental notes, I'm moving forward.
Right. Always make a mental note.
Because now when whatever I'm doing pops off, don't come circling back now, showing up and trying to support now.
Right.
I make mental notes to everybody who support me at this level. Because that always happens. It takes
does.
you to have to move out your city to blow up, people to say, well, bring it back here. Well, I'm starting it here.
Right.
I'm doing it here. Right. And when it blows up here, right, if you're not supporting, then don't try to support now. And I told you, even with your business, the people that support you the most are people that don't even know you.
Right. You did tell me that.
And it's a hard, sad, harsh reality.
Right.
And I had to learn that early in business, that the people that support you the most, unfortunately, is the people that don't know you.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Not saying people that know you will not support you, but the people that don't know you are the ones that's going to support you the most because they don't know you.
Right.
And sometimes people that know you too well enough to be like, oh, she's not serious.
Right.
Or he starts this and he quits that.
Right.
Or so now because of their thought process of you, they don't have the same belief in you that
Right.
you could accomplish that goal.
Right.
But somebody that don't know you, they don't know your faults. They don't know your past. They don't know your starts and stops. They're like, you know what? This look dope. I'm gonna support her.
Right.
I'm gonna support him. And a lot of times those be your biggest cheerleaders.
Exactly. It's so true. It's so true.
Oh, that's love. First day meeting Lawrence Brewer was 100. No matter what he posts, I repost. All support. Facts. DJ's one of the guys. He always sharing our stuff.
Oh, I love that.
And I'm always giving him a shout out of what his business. I mean, ZTS Security. If you need security for the event, hire my brother.
All right.
But I'm always about supporting people that support. Man, like it takes nothing to share.
It takes nothing to
It
share.
costs you no money to share.
Right.
To like a post, to share, to help get the engagement. It takes you no money.
Right. To
You know what I'm
support.
saying?
Yeah.
But,
That's good. That's really good.
But let me go to what not to do. Unless
Okay.
you got a question you want to ask.
I don't.
All right, so here's what not to do, okay? And this is deep, and I've done many of these things and I was wrong. What not to do is don't ghost somebody without clarity. Right? Don't ghost them without clarity unless it's toxic or unsafe.
Right.
But if you somebody had a falling out or you got issue with somebody, don't just ghost them. Have the courage to have the tough conversation to communicate what's going on and why you believe you need to fall back from them.
That's good. That's
you
good.
know, a lot of times you ghost somebody, leave them with a question mark, and you leave it open.
Yeah, and you open the door for rejection to come in the door. And,
right.
you know, we already talked about what rejection does to people's soul.
Right.
Right.
Number 2, don't create drama to justify leaving.
Oh, I like that. Just yeah,
right. You create and I've there's so many podcasts and segments about men that's married or relationships, how they would start arguments with their girlfriends or their wives just to be able to leave the house,
right,
to go do something. You know,
right.
and that's real. You know, a lot of men do it, a lot of females do it, but it's not the right thing to do. Right. Learn to have the tough conversation.
Right.
If you want to leave, just leave.
Yeah. Damn it, I'm going out tonight.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You're gonna have to blurt my
mouth. Don't demonize somebody to ease your own guilt.
Oh, now that is something that happens way too much. Yes.
Yeah. And that stuff, like all these things I have done.
Right. You know you're wrong, and you just keep saying, I did this because of this. I did this because, you know, and you're just trying to blame them and shift the blame. Yeah.
Right. Learn to say, no, you're right.
Right.
I got it. Right. I had to learn that in marriage, and I'm still learning that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? With my children.
Right.
With my parents, with my siblings. Like, I had to learn, like sometimes to say, okay, but we're so used to wanting to have the last word or wanting to prove a point. Or we want to give that why of why something happened instead of saying, you know what, I'm wrong.
Ooh. Go ahead and finish up. Just remember,
this the last one.
I don't want to forget. Talk about what we did at your house recently. Speaking our truth.
Oh, that was good.
Okay.
The last one is don't stay and resent them.
Oh, I've done that.
Don't stay in that marriage. Don't stay in that relationship. Don't stay at that church. Don't stay with that boyfriend or girlfriend. Don't stay at that job.
Right.
Don't stay with that friend and resent them because you just did. Because, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't know how to walk away.
Right. You don't have the courage to leave, and you're just sitting back like, you know, now you're resenting them. Get up and change the situation.
Yeah, get up and
change it. Change it. We all have the ability to change it, even if that means having to live lower. One of the things, well, I won't even get into that because we'll talk about that later. But I wanted to talk about, you know, your kids sometimes. You know, my kids, we celebrated one of my grandkids' birthday. And then he decided to be able to unveil true feelings. What would you call it? Amnesty?
Yeah. So like, you know,
we won't get into all of it, but it was really good to hear how people perceive me. You know, my kids, they look like you would know it all.
Well, I'm gonna say what it was. So at my son's birthday, and we have a tradition. We do happy birthday at the house for everybody's birthday in the family. And his birthday was February 9th, excuse me. But we did it on the 10th. Looking at me. All y'all kids.
You know, and, too many kids.
Too many kids. And there's something called amnesty, right? Which means like you could say something and won't get in trouble.
Right.
Right. In the military, people that's military know about amnesty period, you know. But I say, you know what? I don't know where it came from.
I don't know where it came from because it lasted all damn night.
It lasted all night. But we was like, yo, we're going to do an amnesty period tonight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like everybody before. And Julian was so tired. He was pissed. He was like, it's my birthday. Like, because
it got emotional. It got emotional. Right.
But we was like, yo, I wanted my children to be able to share something about me that maybe I'm wrong, or share something about Sharonda that Sharonda's wrong, or about their grandma or my grandma, which is their great grandma, or my sister was there, my brother was there. So it was like, yo, let's take this time. And no matter what you say, you can say whatever you want to say about daddy, about your mother, about whoever, and not get in trouble.
Nobody's gonna get in trouble.
You know, and at first it was like, what? You know what I'm saying? But I think after, I don't know who went first. Did I go first?
I think you went first.
Yeah. Or did Leah go first?
I don't know. But bottom line was, it was deep.
It took one person to start it. And then everybody went around the room talking about what they not necessarily did not like, but what somebody could do better.
What they can do better. And I think that was and that's something I think a lot of families and friendships could adopt, because it allows you to kind of get a perspective of what that person feels about you. So the consensus was that what was it about me that makes me laugh when I think about it? They say that I don't know how to admit when I'm wrong, which I do not agree with. at all, at all. But that was what they were saying about me, and that sometimes I think somebody might have felt like they say I'm a know-it-all. But either way, I loved it. I welcomed it because it lets me know what my kids are thinking about me. You know, my mother has also told me that before. She didn't say it that night, but she did tell me that before.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got big wings.
Here she go.
He went after my mother. I was like, woo, all right. I was like, and my mother was just sitting back cool, you know, like, oh, okay, all right, I got something for you too, you know what I mean? So it was really a good practice to do because it allows you to kind of just let out a little bit in your honest feelings. And then the bottom line was you couldn't walk away angry.
No,
you couldn't walk away angry. You can just walk away more educated, and then it'll allow us to be a little more sensitive. Because my daughter shared some stuff that I was shocked about, and I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? So those were things that I would have never known if you didn't give that opportunity for us to do that. So I understood that night that okay, there was some deep rooted things. Was Sammy there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he shared some stuff.
Oh, he did. Okay. You know, him and Mimi was tag teaming me that night. That was their opportunity. Like, let me get mama. You know.
Right. They got me too. You know what I'm saying? My kids got me. You know, y'all got me. Some things I have to work on. You know what I'm saying?
So it's
but
good.
it was a good experience to, like you said, to hear what people got to say about you.
Yeah.
That love you. That you know is not malicious. That you know is real. And these people is not going to tell you something that's going to hurt you. Like it's to see you become better.
Right.
You know, my sister told me that, you know, I don't respond to her enough, you know.
Right.
She reach out to me, I don't reach back, I don't respond. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to do better.
And that's
you know
the thing, and, you know, and that was the thing because I just saw somebody, I think it was a football player. I think he got injured and, I'm assuming, I think he had two major injuries that I don't think he could play anymore. The injuries may have retired him and he committed suicide. I can't think of his name.
That just happened?
Yeah, it just happened.
Yeah, he's 25 years old.
25 years old. And that got me thinking today about what people are sometimes dealing with internally. I mean, I don't know his story. I don't even know who he was. I just quickly read it, but we discussed it a little bit at work today. And I was like, I wondered if he didn't feel like he was going to be the man anymore, you know, in that sense, because feeling like you were a failure because, you know, he was football. He loved football. And what if in that moment he felt like he couldn't play anymore? He might have felt like he was worthless inside. Mm-hmm. To the point where he took his life. So what I'm trying to say is you don't know what people are feeling. If you don't have these tough conversations, you never know what somebody might be planning on doing because all they want to do is be heard.
Yeah.
And that's even with friendships. We're going to tie it back down to friendships. Sometimes it's important to tell your friend, hey, I'm angry with you. Mm-hmm. I don't like how you handled this. You know what I mean? Or you might have to just say the hard word. You're wrong. Mm-hmm. Or there are times you have to tell your friends, I can't do that. That's going to be a no. Because sometimes you will say yes because you don't want to hurt your friend's feelings. But sometimes you got to have these tough conversations. And it's important for us to get things out so that we're not harboring feelings and having these emotions that are just kind of tucked away in our hearts.
Yeah, and I shared something about suicide today, too.
Yeah, man.
I think the post said it was like 154,000 suicides already in 2026.
Yeah, it's at an all-time high. I was doing some research on that today.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, anyway, I'm not going to talk about me when it comes to that, but suicide is real, man.
Yeah.
You know, suicide is real.
People's feelings are real and emotions are real. And we have to be able to listen, and we need to listen.
Yeah. And I know, but for the sake of time, I'm going to talk about what to do instead of what not to do.
Okay.
But we're not going to go into deep. This kind of turned into something totally different.
I know. We're jumping all over the place, but I mean, it's real. It's
real.
Raw. This is what Walking Against the Current is. It's raw, raw, raw.
So as I mentioned, I talked about what not to do, and I'm going to talk about what you should do, right?
Okay.
Number one, check yourself first. Always be willing to check yourself, right? Am I growing or just being prideful? Mm-hmm. Like I'm always asking myself that question. Am I growing or am I really being prideful right now? Mm-hmm. Have I communicated clearly what I'm trying to express, right? Did I give space for mutual growth?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Number two, have the conversation, right? If appropriate, right? Sometimes you can't have the conversation because maybe you're too hot, maybe you're too upset, right? Wait to have the conversation when it's appropriate. Have a healthy approach when you talk to somebody.
Yeah, that's a good point. Don't talk to somebody when you're angry. You're right.
You're angry.
Don't do it because it's going to be all over the place, and you'll say things you really didn't mean. And it's sometimes words you can't take those away. You know, once those words are out there, it's out there. So you're right.
And I made that mistake a lot of times, especially in marriage.
Right.
You know, getting upset. You know, Sharonda and I have an argument, and sometimes she would be good but not responding to me.
Right.
But because, she said something to me that hurt my feelings.
Right.
And now she's, women, y'all got those emotions. Y'all could just be unbothered,
Right.
And she would just sometimes not say something to me, and I would be like taken back by it, like, what? Are you going to hear my side?
Right.
You're going to hear what I got to say. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And sometimes that's not the best approach.
It's not, because sometimes it's best just to walk away and come back to it later.
Because many times she would walk away.
Right.
And we both have gotten better with that, as time has progressed. She would walk away. And there've been times I've followed her because I want to get my point across.
Oh, he became that gnat.
Yeah, I became the gnat. And there's been times where I've walked away and she's followed me.
Right. Which is never good. Yeah.
Which is not good. You know what I'm saying? So we both had to learn the mutual respect, the mutual growth to say, hey, I'm walking away.
Right.
And that comes with time. That comes with having the right people in your life. You know what I'm saying? We're not perfect. We got a lot of stuff going on like everybody else.
Right.
But it just comes with time. It comes with the respect, right?
Right.
And number 3, adjust your access. One of my friends told me recently, he was like, Lawrence, I want to tell you something. He said, brother, you are so powerful. He said, but you got one problem.
Oh.
He said, too many people have access to you.
Oh, okay.
Meaning that, if somebody calls me, I'm going to help them. I mean, I got friends that call me and I was in the bed laying down sleeping, like, bro, I need your help. And I'm get out my bed, as you say, rest, and I'm out the bed going to help somebody.
Right.
But that goes back to the loyalty piece.
Right.
I truly care about people. But I had to learn, and I have to learn, that not everyone needs front row access to you.
Right. Okay.
And that's for y'all watching too. Everybody does not need front row access to you at all times. Everybody don't need daily communication in your life.
Right.
Everybody don't need emotional intimacy in your life.
Okay.
Because one of my coaches told me, he said, yo, if I always call you and you always answer the phone, that means you're not working.
Right.
Think about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm always calling, if you always on the phone all day, every day, solving everybody's problems, talking to everybody all the time, when you got time to get your stuff done? Now with your business, as you see, and you had other businesses, but now with this launch, it's been times I call my mom. She's like, hey, I can't talk.
Right.
I'm busy. I'm working.
Right.
But if you wasn't working, you'd be on the phone. We'd be on, we'd be on the phone at 2:00 in the morning just talking.
Right.
But because you have urgency, because right now everybody can have front access to you during your launch.
No.
So because of that, you're like, yo, I can't talk right now. Like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I just want to talk. Well, I can't talk right now. I'm painting. I'm on the phone. I'm getting stuff done. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you have learned how to adjust your access.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this is all great information. I just wanted to, I know for the sake of time, we probably went over tonight, but hope you guys give us mercy. But I want to say this to my sisters. I got a sister of mine coming all the way from New York, and I want to give her a shout out. That's Lynetta. I got another sister coming all the way from Charlotte, her and her husband. Those are my sisters. These are my sisters from New York that we grew up together since we was 11. So this is true sisterhood, right? And our other sister, which is Angie, she purchased a ticket, and she's not even going to be here, but she just wanted to support me. So I just want to give everybody a shout out, and all of those who bought tickets as well. I want to give all y'all a shout out because y'all going to have some fun come this weekend. So thank all of you guys for supporting me, and my kids too. I want to give all my kids a shout out because I am bugging them. But I thank God for my kids because they've been tolerating me and and all my drama. So I want to give a shout out to my kids and my friends too. So I wanted to give that out tonight.
Yeah, y'all please go to my page, obviously the page that we're on now. Or go to Lawrence Brewer or go to my link in the bio, and y'all go to Eventbrite and book your tickets for the Laugh a Lot experience.
We have a few tickets left, just a few.
Yeah, we got a few tickets left, you know what I'm saying? So we praying to have this thing sold out first night.
Right.
A lot of money's been invested, a lot of time, a lot of sweat equity
has
been put into this. So yeah, please go out there and book your tickets. Only $35. I think it's too cheap, honestly, for the value that you're going to get. Right. Some people have called me and said, oh, that's too high. I'm like, that's too high. What? Y'all spending $300 on Cardi B tickets to a show? Y'all spending all this money on Beyonce tickets? Y'all buying $300 pair of Jordans? And somebody's giving you a 3-hour experience to help your situation when it comes to your wife, your husband, your unity. That's going to make it harmonious. You got a live DJ. You got drinks. You got, you know what I'm saying? Like $35.
Right.
And all the materials provided. Are y'all crazy?
Right.
But I can't talk how I want to talk. Right. I don't want to ruin the laugh a lot experience. But
right.
but I just look at how people spend money on nonsense.
Right.
And you got somebody that's giving you their time, their 54 years of wisdom. I mean, I don't want to. You say I'm a product of your teaching and mentorship, but people say I'm so good. I say it's because of my mother and my father. But a lot of time, my mother, she took the time to read with me a lot, educate me, and all this stuff she want to give y'all for $35.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. That means a lot.
And if you can't come, buy a ticket, support. It's $35.
Right.
Like, what? I just can't. What are we talking about?
Right.
That's a meal for 2 people at Chick-fil-A.
Right.
And you talking about 3 hours of your time.
And materials.
All materials included. You know what I'm saying? But, the date is the 28th, Kim, the 28th. It's a paint and sip. It's a paint and sip
and wellness. Mm-hmm.
Health and wellness,
Mm-hmm.
Live DJ, wine, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get the whole thing, you know what
The
I'm
whole
saying?
kit and caboodle.
The whole
And
kit
trust me,
caboodle.
you're going to have a good time because this is something, this is, like you said, many years of wisdom and many years going to pour into you that night and pour into you each and every night. I come out there for Laugh a Lot.
Yeah. And here's my closing remark. I know we always give y'all a closing statement.
Yes.
That should have been a closing statement, honestly. But
Yes. Drop the mic. Bam.
Right. But I do want to say that in your life, right, you can honor what was without forcing what isn't.
Mm.
You can honor what was without forcing what isn't. Meaning you can honor what you once had with that spouse, with that relationship, with that friendship, with that job, with that coworker. Like, you still can honor that. You still can respect them and love them, although it's not what it is today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Learn to walk away, and most importantly, walk in love and walk in peace.
That's it. I love that. I love that. Well, I want to thank you guys, and hopefully we can see each other face to face on Saturday and on maybe the next show. But I want to just thank y'all for joining tonight, for walking against the current. We really appreciate y'all. Peace.
Thank y'all. Blessings.